Fusion 360 has a lot of useful settings, and it's really good idea to set them up properly right at the beginning. Hey everyone, and welcome back. In this video we will go through the most important preferences in Fusion 360 that every beginner should know. All of these settings are located in the Preferences menu. If we look at the top right corner, you can see our profile name, which means you are logged into Fusion 360. Click on the profile icon, then choose Preferences. This opens a window with many different settings, and we will focus only on the most important ones. First, go to Default Units and make sure Design is selected. Right now the units are set to millimeters. You can change them to centimeters, meters, inches or feet. It's important to know that this setting does not affect the current project. It only applies to new projects you create. For example, if I change this to centimeters and click Apply and OK, the current project will still use millimeters under Document Settings. But when I open a new project, the units will now be set to centimeters. For most CAD modeling and 3D printing, millimeters are the most commonly used unit. Next, let's move to the General tab. Here you can change things like interface language, theme, graphics driver if you have more than one, the axis orientation whether Z or Y is pointing up. You will also find navigation settings here. If you have worked in another CAD software like SolidWorks, you can select that navigation style and Fusion 360 will automatically adjust the mouse controls. I'll leave this set to the default Fusion 360 navigation. You can also invert the zoom direction here, which is useful if you are coming from AutoCAD. Now under General, let's go to the Design tab. Here we have Default Modeling Mode. This setting controls whether Fusion 360 keeps a full history of your modeling steps in the timeline. I strongly recommend keeping this set to the parametric modeling. This allows you to go back to any earlier step and easily modify your design. If you are used to SolidWorks, you can also choose Direct Modeling. For example, when using Direct Modeling, all features appear in the browser instead of the timeline, and you don't get a full design history. For beginners, Parametric Modeling is the best choice. Next is the Drawing tab. Here you can choose the drawing standard you want to work with. If you are using European standards, ISO is the most common option. In the Material tab, you can change the default material. Right now it's set to metal, usually steel. This means every new model will automatically use that material. You can always change it later if needed. Now let's move to Graphics. This is where you balance visual quality and performance. If you are using a less powerful computer, it's better to reduce visual effects and focus on performance. I leave these settings optimized for smoother performance so Fusion runs without lag. You can also lower the frame rate here to improve performance even more. In Unit and Value Display, you can control the number of decimal places, angle precision, degree format, and how decimal numbers are displayed. 3 decimal places are usually more than enough for most projects. You can also switch between a decimal point and a comma if needed. Finally, we have the Preview Features tab. This includes experimental features that Autodesk is still testing. If you are a beginner, it's best to leave these options turned off. Once you are done adjusting everything, click Apply, then OK. If you ever want to reset everything, just use Restore Defaults. And that's a quick overview of the most important preferences in Fusion 360. Setting this up correctly from the start will make your workflow much smoother and more enjoyable. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!